Hi, this video is going to help you review what we have learned in our third Excel assignments. We think we've been there, we kind of lingered in the third assignment for almost 3 weeks so far, and I think we concluded the third assignment last week. Therefore, I started to make this video to help you review. Remember that these videos can only be used to supplement what you have learned in the classroom. You can never substitute what you have learned in the classroom with those videos. Okay, I'm going to be starting from the very first warm-up exercise. If you go to the Joule, you're probably able to see something called formula or functions warm-up exercise. This is the very first one we've worked on. Okay, let me click it back. So let me briefly explain what I'm trying to do here. Okay, here, this is just a typical teacher's grading book. You see a list of quiz here, I'm getting quiz average, list of homeworks here, getting homework average, absent count, and how it contributes to attendance score, how your absence actually contribute to absent attendance score, with midterm exam, final exam. Here we have all these weights. Okay, so when we calculate the final score, we're actually using weighted average to get the final score here. So let me go ahead, and we probably need more than just one student. Okay, so I think in the class I have popped out more than 10 students, but here just for demonstration purpose, only going to pop up 3 students. Okay, so I'm gonna add 2 more students here. So let's add upike ID, okay, and upike 001, upike 002, upike 003. So we have only 3 students here, and I I think I remember I used combination of rand and rand between to pop out randomly all these scores here. Okay, so that's actually easier just to come up with all these crazy numbers by your own. So I'm just gonna use random between rand between here. Okay, it doesn't have to be always the uppercase. It's okay even it's lowercase. So what this function do is it's going to return random number between the bottom and top. So I'm gonna set here my bottom is 60, so that I will have less students making Fs, and the top is actually 100. And boom, it's going to return you a random number 84. Let me fill it. Okay, let me fill them again. Okay, let me actually fill all the way. Let me actually fill all the way to here. Okay, I'm gonna remove all this. But since random number is going to refresh every time, you just noticed, since the random number functions, all the random number functions are refreshing each time you write something new. Therefore, it's very um, difficult to calculate anything out of this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just copy and paste it somewhere. I'm gonna choose paste value only option. In doing so, I can just keep the values instead of keeping the functions. Okay, so I'm going to put them back. I'm going to remove these first, and I'm going to put them back there. Okay, I'm going to put them back there. Okay, now our data is ready. So how do you actually calculate your quiz average? Here, I sort of explained my rubric here. You need to eliminate one lowest score and calculating your average with remaining 4 digits, 4 numbers. So, of course, you probably know I can use average to calculate the average for all these, okay? But that is not what I'm going to do it here. Okay, I'm going to using little different trick to calculate it, so that after the completion of the first students, I can just use the same contents to fill rest of the students. So basically, eliminating the smallest number is you can sum all these numbers. Okay, and you need help of min, which is to return the smallest number from the array. Okay, in this way we can get a summation of of 4 largest number out of 5. Okay, so you wrap it with a parenthesis, you divide it, You can just put 4, but in order to make it more accurate, I'm gonna let count function to help me here. B3 to F3 again. Okay. What count does is that count function is going to help you return the number of numeric values in a given range. For example, here B3, C3, D3, E3, F3, we have actually 5 cells that all contains numeric value. Therefore, it's going to return a 5 for us. But we know that since we have eliminated minimum number here, we also have to subtract 1 from this number. So, boom, this will get you a average eliminated lowest score. Average after eliminating the lowest number. Okay, this will help you. So don't worry about all these formatting details. I'm going to modify it at the end. So this is just the plain average function. I'm not removing any lowest score from here. So here you have it. Okay, here you have it. And here you can also do this rand between. Here I'm just gonna say from 1 to 10. Okay, 1 to 10. It's gonna pop up these things. Again, you might want to just copy, paste values only this time. Paste it back there. Okay. So you probably think why I'm taking all this labor to kind of moving it around, generate it here and paste it back here and paste it back again there. It's because you are only dealing with 2 values here. So consider you have tens of thousands of cells you need to fill out. So you probably will have to consider similar procedures I've done there. Okay, so how do you come up with attendance score? Okay, so attendance score is basically you are taking A points out of each absence. So 8 is predetermined. Okay, times number of absent here. So boom, you have your absence score. Okay, and just midterm. Let's just randomly come up with things. Okay, midterm. Well, you can use random between if you want, but I'm just popping these in here. Okay, let's say. Okay, we are ready. So how do you? Let me move this a little bit down here, and I'm gonna move it up a little bit here. Okay. How do you calculate your final score here? The way you do that is, since this is a weighted average, therefore you need to times, okay, you need to times all these weight value on the each item average. So homework, okay, weights 40%, attendance weights 10%, sorry, this, and midterm weights 10%, and final weights 20%. Okay. Push enter. It's going to help you calculate the weighted average here, but this is not quite done yet because you need to consider you are going to drag it to here. Okay, so you probably have noticed something odd happen here. Okay, take a look what happened. You see the ranges, okay, has shifted a little bit. So you probably know what you need to do here in order to prevent your ranges from being shifted. So I'm going to use all these absolute referencing technique. Select the weight value here and press down F4 key from your keyboard, or you can just manually type in the $ in front of row number and column number. Okay, I'm just going to do F4, F4, F4. Okay, so after doing this, after you lock down those values with absolute referencing technique, and you are good to fill them, you can go as far as you can go. You can go as far as you want to go. Okay, here we have everything calculated accurately. So let's kind of quick review. Let's do a quick review what kind of functions we have used here. I think we have used summation function. We have used minimum function. Okay, you can use maximum function to calculate to get the largest values out of particular array. we also used count function here. Okay, we also used rand between. Okay, we also have similar is called rand. Okay, so this is going to generate a number between 0 to 1. It can generate 0, but it will not generate number 1. Okay, so maximum value it can get is infinitely close to number 1, but it's not going to generate number 1 for you. Okay, so this is rand between. It's going to generate numbers based on the range you are feeding to the function. And count is going to help you count number of numeric values within the given range. So let me introduce another function here, count A. Count A is going to help you return number of non-empty cells. So for example here, I can use count to try to count how many cells here is going to return 0 because we see none numeric values from here. Okay, but you can modify a little bit. You can try to modify with count A here. Okay, count A is going to help you return number 7 because we are seeing 7 non-empty cells listed here. So if you decided to remove 1, as you can see, the number has changed to 6. Okay, so I'm going to put it back. Count and maximum, minimum, summation, these are pretty straightforward. I'm not going to explain again. The one last function we probably need to use here is something called Vlookup. Okay, Vlookup. Vlookup is going to help you return the exact matching value from the same row. Let me give you a detailed example what this really means. Okay, let me explain what Vlookup actually do. Okay, so here you need to assign them a grade. Okay, you need to assign them a grade from this particular grading scale. So this is kind of familiar grading scale. Of course, you can consider using f function here if you are familiar with f. Okay, of course, let me put f here. So if you're familiar with the f function, you can put f here. Okay, so let's look up this value. If this value is larger or equal to 90, and I'm going to say it's an A. If it is not, I'm going to say not A. Okay. For those of you who are in the class, you probably are familiar with this nested if function, which is that you're going to start a new if function here. Okay. So in case this is false, so you're starting new if function here. We're going to do the same type of logical test here, the second level of if. Okay, if it's larger than 80, and it's going to output B. If it is not, okay, I'm going to start a new if function, and the Q3 larger equals 70. Okay, and C. I'm starting new Q3 larger equal 60. Okay, let's put in D. You probably are tempted to begin another if function here, but it's time to stop because by using if 4 times, we have covered 5 different ranges here. Okay, a range greater than 90, range greater than 80, range greater than 70, greater than 60. So what about range smaller than 60? Okay, actually our last argument here will deal with range that is lower than 60. So you have to match number of parentheses opened with a closed. So I think we'll have the right result here, which is B. So how f function works is that it's going to examine whether the contents in Q3 is larger than 90 or not first. Okay, and afterwards it's going to check. Okay, and afterwards it's going to check whether it's larger than 80 or not. So let me give you an example of using f function in a wrong way. Okay, so you probably are tempted to begin with this. Okay, let me turn to this mode right here, which is function mode. So this is very important that you understand if is actually testing all these conditions in the sequential order. Okay, it's going to testing this condition first, and this does not satisfy, it's going to move on to the next. Okay, so and so forth. So you should never formulate your um, if statement in this case in an ascending order. Okay, so what I mean by ascending order, you should never test whether Q3 is larger than 0 or not. Okay, um, if it is larger than 0, you want to say this is an F. So if it is not, you want to check whether it is larger or equal to 60. Okay, so and if it's larger than 60, you want to say D, and so forth. Okay, yeah, I might just want to help you to kind of complete this. Q3. Okay, whoops, I missed one thing here. 3 larger or equal than 70. Okay, C, and Q3 larger equal to 80 is B. Okay, last one is A. Okay, so this doesn't have any syntax error. It means that you didn't make any mistake when you formulate your if statement. It in fact will actually work, but it's going to give you a odd results. Remember that I told you that if statement is going to examine the conditions in a sequential order. So all I'm going to do is that it's going to examine whether Q3 is larger or equal to 0 or not. Obviously it is. Therefore, it's going to return the very first result, which is F. It's not going to move to the next. Okay, so you see the difference here. You have to formulate in a descending order instead of ascending order here. Okay, so since we have fixed the first cell correctly, we can just drag it down to fill the rest of the cells. So this is actually one way to get the grading. Okay, this is one way to get the grading. But for those of you who are sitting in the classroom, you probably remember my comments regarding the earlier version of if actually allow you to embed only 6 times of if, meaning that you can use if in you can only use f function for 7 times in a given cell. Okay, but that was before Excel 2007, but afterwards they allowed to put more than 7 times of if. So, but we're gonna using Vlookup functions to complete this thing right here. So I'm gonna explain what Vlookup function will actually do for you. So basically it's going to do the same thing. Okay, basically it's going to do the same thing, but it's going to looking for a reference table like this. Okay, for example, it's going to looking up value 81.65 from this table. Okay, and it is going to looking for a range where it belongs to. Okay, it's going to return um, the corresponding grading marks from the range it belongs to. Okay, that is what the VLOOKUP is going to do. Let me remove everything and show you how it actually works. So VLOOKUP, okay, VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, and it has what we're using here actually takes 4 arguments. Okay, takes 4 arguments. So let's read it here. Yeah, let's read it here. Looks for a value in the leftmost column of a table. Okay, let me oh no. And then returns a value in the same row from a column you specify. Okay, so you probably have to specify a lookup value. You need to specify the table of array that you're going to reference. And you need to feed the third argument, which is the column. Okay, column I specify. I need to specify column number here. Okay, we're just gonna ignore the lookup range for now, since I'm planning to make a separate video to kind of discuss how to assign grade using f function, using VLOOKUP function, and using index and match function using 3 different methods. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. For now, all you need to do is just to assign all these 3 values to here. So for first time, when we're gonna look up this value right here. Okay, I'm gonna look up this value, and we're gonna look up this value from this table right here. So table array. You can just do it like this. Okay, and this is actually the column number. Column number. After looking up, after determine which range it belongs to, and it is going to return the contents in the column. Okay, the first column is this, second column is this. Okay, if I assign 2, it's going to return a corresponding contents in the same row from that particular column. Does that make sense? Okay, so here it returned B for us. Okay, since we know that 81.65 is really belong to range that is above B. Okay, so since we have assigned, okay, let me turn it on. Since we have assigned number 2, which is the second column right here, it has returned a contents from the second column. So it means that if you have another additional column here, narrative, just gonna say failed. Okay, just say so. Okay, good, very good. So now we have column 1, 2, 3 here. Okay, just to make it more clear, 1, 2, 3 here. And this time I'm gonna try to put those narrative in the grading line instead of using ABCD to grade it. Okay, so I'm gonna do it again. Vlookup. First is the value I'm trying to look up here. Okay, and the second argument is the table array, which is our reference array. Okay, this time after I find the right range, okay, I'm going to return the contents from the third column. So this time, let's see, 71.15 is actually belongs to the range that's above C, okay? And we are asking the contents from the third column to be returned. In this case, we're expected to see OK instead of C. Boom. Okay, it worked. Okay, it worked. I hope you got the idea what this VLOOKUP is going to do. Okay, here are a couple of things you need to be aware. Okay, this range value has to be listed in the leftmost column. Okay, it has to be listed in the leftmost column, and it has to be an ascending order. It has to be an ascending order. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this. Okay, so this is actually what our first warm-up assignment looked like. Let me go ahead and correct all these formatting details. Let me use this to fill them. Okay, make them bold. Control B, make them bold. Okay, we have well-organized grading book presented in front of us. These are the number of functions we have used here. Hope this video helped you to understand what the warm-up exercise looked like. Okay. Oops, I just made a mistake. I probably have to remove this, okay? I probably need to do it again. Okay, let me remove this since this was just a demonstration. Okay. Okay, see you in next video.